Welcome back to Humankind. You guys have been asking me for some edited playthroughs, so with this roster of characters, thank you for tweeting me your personas on blitz, speed, and Humankind difficulty. Let's jump straight in. I do consider Humankind difficulty and blitz speed to be the most difficult combination of game speeds and game difficulties. Reason being, Blitz mode makes it really hard to beat the AI's extreme advantages that they get on Humankind difficulty. You just don't have enough time to keep up. So, during this edited playthrough on Blitz speed, I'm going in completely unchained, okay? This is Jumbo Unchained. I'm going to set no preconditions, no restrictions on which culture I can or can't play. Instead, oh, this is an interesting start. We're actually at the bottom of the map for a change. Instead, I'm just going to try my absolute hardest to beat this challenge. And it's going to begin by fighting a woolly mammoth. This is the first edited playthrough of Humankind on my channel. And if you like it and you'd like to see more, do let me know. This is an experiment for me. So I'm keen to see how it plays out. Because it's Blitz mode, it's quite easy. You'll see I've already got most of these things except for the knowledge star, but I suspect, yep, the AI has already gotten dibs on the Egyptians, the Harappans, the Mycenaeans, and the Nubians. So it leaves us with some fairly restricted options heading into the ancient era, which makes me think, actually, let's just hang around for an extra turn, grab this knowledge star, right? And then maybe get that curiosity. You're awfully close. Okay, let's separate this unit out, send them to grab the food. That will spawn a whole load of extra ones, which I guess we then split that off as well. Send you along your merry way. You can cross the river. We can also split up these ones, so let's send one there. These two we might fight down here? Do we want +1 industry per population, +1 food, or +1 science? It's a difficult one. This is a great way to get some early game science, but I think we'll go with the production, because industry is everything. Oh my goodness. This mountain range! Oh, I have to. I'm gonna settle my first outpost here. Jump onto D's nuts. That'll give me some extra units that we can send back here and pillage that sanctuary. That's going to also provide a whole load of extra units. I'm thinking I might just hang around in the Neolithic era a little bit longer just to get these free pops. I mean, this is insane. Let's do it. Let's spend another turn here. There's more D's nuts, more units to spam out. Is this the Neolithic era only playthrough? D's berries. Only one unit out of berries, but it's okay because we'll split them off and send them over here. Brilliant. Wondering where my second outpost would like to be. It's unfortunate that we haven't really found a second river except for this one. Put that unit on auto explore, more discoveries. We are probably spending a little bit too long here now. But I'm going to do one more turn. 5 turns I think is acceptable. Let's send this unit to D's berries and then do the old chain reaction thing. Oh my goodness, this ransack got off and now we have an army of 4 here. Brilliant. I think we might just keep these 4 together and absolutely destroy this mammoth. Look at that. I mean, that was just unfair. I'm going to place down my second outpost along this river. Now we have 2 outposts. Now, there's an interesting strategy with... Oh my goodness, we're at 19 pop. Maybe it is time for me to choose a culture now. I'm dragging my heels a bit, I realize. We haven't found any neighbors, which makes me think that maybe the Assyrians and the Hittites might not be a great pick. I mean, they never are. So we could go Babylon, we could go the Olmecs, absolutely not. Phoenicians tempting, but honestly, I think it might have to be a zhou. Let's take zhou. Okay, so we moved through as the zhou. Reason being, I didn't really quite like any of the other cultures that were left. I didn't think they were quite strong enough. And also, we have a very good zhou start centered around these mountain ranges, right? So, I'm gonna have to try and connect them up to the capital, which means we really have to probably settle an outpost here next. But for starters, let's make this a city. Ta-da! And we can actually do a super powerful trick that is only enabled if you hang around in the Neolithic era for quite a while. We've built up enough influence so that we can get 2 cities on our very first turn in the ancient era. So let's do that. Boom. 2 cities down straight away. That is awesome. What is also awesome is that I have a whole load of dudes here standing around who really want to be a part of a city. So what I'm going to do is disband these units and send them into our capital city, Haojing. It's going to send a whole load of pops in here very fast. They're all going to be able to work jobs and increase the yields of the city. They are starving because we've absolutely surged a whole load of people in there. So we're going to have to work on their food supplies as well. Up here, we want to claim this outpost. As I say, really just to bring these mountains in with the capital. So we'll probably just slap it down here. We'll probably be okay. So let's do that. We've also got a faith that's ready to come online. Obviously, you see polytheism, you choose polytheism. So let's grab that. And we'll queue up our... Actually, there's maybe not a huge rush to get our district down right now because we need to claim this territory first to get these mountains in. So what I might do first is just get a farmer's quarter queued up so that Haojing doesn't completely starve. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to disband this bad boy, send him into the city whence he came, and likewise probably just queue up the pottery workshop for our influence. And then here we could consider building our district straight away. You can see there's going to be a triple adjacency if we merged these cities together. However, we might not want to do that just because it's more important, I think, to have fast cities rather than connecting to the capital. So we might forego a super powerful Confucian school right now and instead here start working on our holy site. So let's do that and let's place it down on a reasonable tile like that one. I think we have so many units that it's probably worth sending at least these 8 up to the north. See if we can find an ally or an enemy. Plot out a bit more of this map. Maybe some cheeky discoveries. Love to see it. Of course, we've got our first civics because we easily had the 8 population that is required to get them. Let's go +5 influence on main plaza because we got those 2 fast cities. That feels really powerful to me. And I might just hold off on legitimacy until we need it. Woof. Okay, so looks like there's potentially a lot of land out to the never eat soggy Weet-Bix to the east of where we've settled. Let's queue up these resource extractors. This starting territory is very fruitful. Wow. I really need to be doing the land grab, so I'm going to separate these 3 units that are auto-exploring here next turn and fan them out properly. I might also do the same here. Just bring even just 1 unit back to claim these territories. And then we'll send what is sort of our standing army, I suppose. We'll send them off to do great things. Go on, off you go. Couple of bears trying to have a go at me. Illegal. Run this poor injured one back a bit. I'm not afraid of a couple of bears. We'll be fine. Woof. Ooh, and we can actually send these bear fighters up here to this mysterious territory and claim this, which looks like a really great spot, actually. Wow. What a place to be alive. Speaking of, let's smash a little territory down here so that the capital can hoover that up. Splash a bit of gold. Our holy site will be done next turn, which is great. How's the quote-unquote standing army doing up to the north? They're doing alright. Okay, boom. Ready to attach, but not before we hoover up a couple of fantastic luxury resources. Also hoovering up those builder stars, which is super important. And now check out this. Oh my god. It's plus 25 science. And we can even get a second reasonable enough one up here too. Let's just buy that first one. That's a huge science. Look at that. Science is now almost the thing that I'm best at. Jeepers. This is a wonderful location for an outpost, not only because it's going to connect some really nice resources for me, but also this is really the outpost that our second city wants, right? It wants it so badly. So let's attach that up right now, because that will give it some mountains. And now that we have access to mountains, hello beautiful, here's another wonderful district. Another wonderful zhou district. Unfortunately, the one here is not so hot because of the way that these cities are combined, but just in case they end up merging together in future, I'm going to build it here, just to be safe. And you know what? I'm also going to use old standing army to settle this territory as well. And seeing as we're here, why not go for the trifecta and smash one out down here? Horses and copper, absolutely brilliant for reasons that will become clear soon. And look at our science gen. Woof. I can have whatever I like. I think we'll get fishing because the harbours we can build with our influence. Masonry is really good too. And then gearing up for the next era, I'm going to want trade expeditions. So let's ensure that we have wheel or sailing. Probably organized warfare. I mean, realistically, I want all of these, so why not just queue them all up? We're going to smash through them as well, with our super duper zhou districts of awesome. Here's an outpost that will starve, but be super productive, so let's smash that down. Like I say, now we can build our harbors on our outposts, so it doesn't matter so much if they're low on food by default, because we can hopefully use the harbour to sort of elevate it up a bit. So you can see now it's got 8 food and 19 industry thanks to that harbour, right? And that's reasonable. That's actually pretty decent. We could choose to advance in the next era. Let's see who we've already lost to the AI. Sadly, we've lost the Maya. We also lost the Huns and the Celts. Interesting. Interesting. I could play the Greeks after absolutely ripping into them on my tier list video. I'm actually quite interested in picking up a scientific culture at some point fairly early on. Although ideally I would have got an industrial one. We could go with the Persians to get some extra cities. But let's first consider our fame. I'm quite close to getting my Aesthite stars by pure miracle. The expansionist ones are very difficult, but I'd like to hang around and at least go for gold on my science and my builder as well. So I'm gonna hold off for a bit, see if I can get a few more stars. You'll see we are in last. It's probably to be expected on Humankind difficulty, but I might just hang around for a bit longer. If we take this territory, which is a very high food one, so I'll grab this, right, smash that down, it'll take 2 turns, then we can hook it up to one of these cities, like Haojing, which is just horrifically starving after I transferred all those pops in and then starved the poor thing. Let's give it +5 food from horses. That will now ensure it doesn't starve. Also, I wouldn't mind either getting some more foodie districts or maybe a harbour if it's oh yeah. Let's queue up that harbour too. That should help feed the people. And because we're playing as zhou and we have that extra stability, we can afford to build a few extra districts. So let's just really ensure that Haojing has a good food base moving forward. Then we can focus on industry or science, depending on how we want to play this bad boy. Ooh. Ooh. Good, good. So we're heading into turn 15, which makes me a little bit anxious. We should probably move through to the next era. and choose a different culture now. I mean, we've picked up a little bit, but we're really floating along at the bottom with the drips and drabs and dregs of the lobby at the moment. There are some stars flowing through, which I love to see. Let's just quickly see how they're doing. Okay, we can get that, definitely. We can get that, definitely. Maybe we can even get the agrarian ones. The real loss here, though, is the militarist ones. We just haven't found anyone to fight. We only need to destroy one unit. They must be here somewhere. I'm going to queue up a few makers' quarters in our second city. After it gets its infrastructure, Haojing will continue to work on its food supply. There's our golden builder star. Hello, beautiful. Let's also make sure that we get the forge, right? +5 industry per copper. We have 2 at the moment. Plus, our makers' quarters receive an additional buff. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Okay, that was a lot of stars. We must be ready to go now. I'm so close to the golden merchant star, though. 300 fame for 100 gold. How much am I getting per turn? 36. 3 turns. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I always feel like I'm dragging the chain a bit, but I actually do think it's worthwhile. I mean, there's 40 gold. There's 40 gold. Ooh, and 2 natural wonders and some independent people. Okay, brilliant. Let's quickly claim this one while we're here. Right. Brilliant. Thank you kindly. Grab the... Aha! Military units. Yes, this is what I'm after. They're peaceful ones, and they're archers. They'll probably just absolutely wreck these guys. Okay, so they've just created a city. It's got another wonder, Halong Bay, and there's no one left to defend it. I mean, it would be rude not to. Thank you kindly. So we'll hoover that up for free. We will probably go to discard the bodies. And unfortunately, the units have just ran away somewhere where I can't see them. It might now be time to move through. I think I've probably dragged my heels long enough. Although just as I say that, here's another 2 units. What does my Aerostar situation look like now? Whew, if we do a bit of merging, we could get an expansionist and a militarist. We're 1 pop away from our gold agrarian. Okay, fine. I'll stay 1 more turn. But then really I should stop dragging my heels at that point. Oh, these Zhou buildings though. Look. I just can't help it. Oh my goodness. Look, more. Oh boy. Okay, fine. Queue those up. I'll actually splash a bit of gold to make sure they get online quite quickly. That's where those 3 units went. That's very annoying. Who else can we hoover up and create cities and merge here? I feel like there are expansionist stars waiting to happen. Unfortunately, this is conflict with bears. I might just retreat. We don't really gain anything from doing that. Let's just try and grab these expansionist stars. Haojing should probably hoover that up. There's another beautiful district next to some mountains. Let's elevate that to the front of the queue. I'm actually tempted to buy it out with population. I'm going to do just that. Sorry, Haojing. Oh, it feels bad, man. Feels bad. We'll buy Wow, it's citation needed. We'll buy its infrastructure and also try and hoover up a territory for it. It's going to trap the capital in a bit, but maybe that's not the end of the world. Let's grab this one, actually, just to be safe. I'll just check that there's, nothing to build, so we are good to hoover that up. There's an expansionist star, and of course, another opportunity to build another fantastic Zhou district. Let's surge that to the front of the queue and buy it with some populations. Wonderful. Wondering if we could maybe even attach a 3rd one here. No, that's a little bit too expensive. That's okay. That's okay. Where did that put us for our stars? Do I want to use my aesthete ability? Sure. Why not? And that's pretty good. Except for the militarist ones, that's pretty good. Do I have any hope of getting them next turn, or shall we just wave the white flag on them for this era? There is a potential attack there. Okay, fine. Just one more. It's the classic hashtag one more turn routine. Nah. Let's move. Alright, I feel like this next era might be quite a quick one. And I absolutely ripped into the Greeks during my tier list video. +2 science per researchers. We don't have a lot of them right now. +3 science per era and +2 science per adjacent district. We could use this to snowball our science. The other ones that I'm thinking about are sort of the Mauryaans for their nice faith science district, or the Persians if we wanted to really double down on stability, on city caps, on influence. Might not be a bad pick. Might not be a terrible one. Alright, because I ripped on them so much in my tier list video, I don't think these yields are super fantastic, but I'm gonna play the Greeks. I feel like if this was a live stream, chat would be screaming at me to play them, so let's do it. Ooh, and it looks like blue. I don't know who blue is, but we're gonna get some militarist stars after all. Our units are not as powerful, but we're in a fairly advantageous spot here considering that the AI is going to fight me across a river. Let's use our high ground to our advantage while we can and try and get a couple of reasonable attacks on this mounted unit. I might even go for the encircle trick here, actually. Let's just absolutely dog on it for a turn. Nice. Then let's move down here and ensure that they keep fighting me from this river tile. That's all that I want to do. So I'm just going to block and defend on all of the tiles that aren't river and force them to continue doing these fairly lackluster attacks. This unit's quite high health, so I feel like I can probably take a stab there. This one's a bit weak, so what we might do is swap these two out. Send that one up to the high ground and bring this one down here. Going for a cheeky stab. And next turn we'll be able to finish that. That's okay. We did get one of our militarist stars. Nicely done. Right, let's move through and play as the Greeks. Yes. Might send these units down here. Maybe we can get a little bit of a fight going once we move through to the next era. New ideas lead to new strategies, and we're going in on the Greek strategy. You'll see we picked up a couple of stars at the beginning just because of how well we did last era, particularly in terms of our districts. I know we can also upgrade our religion, and I'm pleased to see that everyone else is in tier 1. I'm not so pleased to see the range of things that we've missed out on. In fact, we've missed out on all of the good ones. In that case, +1 influence on mountain isn't great, but we did start as zhou, so we do have quite a few mountains in our territory. I'm not so interested in these militarist ones for war support, so let's go shelter the true oracles for really a pretty bad first pick. Gonna need to focus on faith generation now. Let's head up here to our new city and get it working on a holy site and throw everyone else on board with it as well, just to get that online nice and quick. Back over here, this battle, of course, was continuing from last round, and really it's a comfortable victory for us there. Nice. I need to keep land grabbing, and as you can see, we're doing a pretty good job at hoovering up most things. But I note that I do need to just quickly bounce back into this territory, and I'm just going to place it here. There's slightly better yields over there, but I think it's worthwhile to get it down a little sooner than that. Right, so we've come up against the Celts, who were the Harappans in the first era, as you would expect. Nice little combo-wombo from them in terms of population, anyway. And that is all good with me. Let's quickly hoover up this territory next to them. See if we can grab about as much as we can. And crucially, boom, trade expeditions entirely for free. That will let us sail to the new world. To allow me to do that a little bit better, I'm also going to want standing army for some good units and my hoplites, and probably philosophy for the extra city cap as well. However, it's important to remember that we can actually surge through as the Greeks and research some pretty spicy stuff from the medieval era, and I'm looking at feudalism for this colony model, so I'm going to queue that up as well. Got trade expeditions, so we can immediately jump into the ocean, sail across here, meet this tribe, hopefully claim this land. I also have some units that have been waiting for about 1 million years down here to disembark. So let's get out and explore the world of opportunity that awaits us. By the way, we just finished our holy site, so now my attention turns back towards developing my cities as well as I can. We don't really have research quarters or a lot of scientists, so even though these infrastructures are quite good, they're not my core focus. We're also far, far away from enemies, so we probably don't need walls. But just to be safe, it might not hurt to queue them up. Probably a good idea, to be fair. And then let's get our unique districts. Plus 19 science is pretty decent. It's not as good as Zhou's district from last era, but it will scale over time. So let's smash these down, build up a nice little scientific base in and around the mountains there. Might also head to city number 2, connect up its iron as soon as we can, and then do the same thing here. Let's just get these districts down, get our science and influence generation up too, right? So we can sort of maybe work towards a cheeky megacity goal while we're here. Islands up to the north that I wouldn't mind exploring, so I might just quickly here while we're waiting, pump out maybe 2 of my hoplites, and then queue up some of the necessary infrastructure in this city that we took from the barbarians. Really, I'm really keen on the forge. The forge is super good. In fact, I might actually just buy that. That'll make everything else that we're going to produce here in future much better. Because this is more of a forward city, I might also focus on walls, I think. Focusing on walls? I know, it's ridiculous, and those who have watched me live will know just how ridiculous it is. Speaking of, this is the first time I've tried an edited Let's Play through of Humankind on my channel. If you enjoy this edited gameplay, please do let me know. This is absolutely a test run for me. I'm very interested to see how this video and future ones perform. I'll see you then.